Hello and welcome to the Main Cave. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at a keyboard from a company you may have associated with mice. So can it stack up and tempt you away from other brands of rapid response trigger keyboards? So if you're new here, we make regular videos on gaming and technology for your smart home, so please do consider subscribing, as we may make a video to make your life easier, and I won't want you to miss out. So do hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Both keyboard and mouse here are wired, which already come with a few pros and cons before we've even started using it. Well, I say cons, having a wired keyboard and a mouse isn't really a negative, it's just not as clean and as minimal as something like a wireless one on your desk. But if you have the room, spare USB ports and the inclination, then this could be a great move for you. Now you may be aware of Endgame mice and not so much their keyboards, as these are a new venture for them. I got these two direct from Overclockers here in the UK, and the current price for these is £70 for the mouse and £140 for the keyboard. The mouse is the OP18K USB optical mouse, the keyboard is the KB65HE. So let's start a little bit with the mouse, and this is somewhere where Endgame have history. This one I have in black and it also comes in white. As the name suggests, it has an 8000 Hz polling rate with KGX mechanical switches. In the box you get some skates, side grips and a screwdriver, as this mouse also supports swappable switches. There are two assignable buttons on the side, which I'll talk about later in the software. So the keyboard here is the KB65HE, and it's a 65% Hall effect keyboard with Gateron KS37B switches. And the main selling point for this is it has rapid trigger response, which I will be testing later. Also, PBT double shot keycaps, per key RGB, although I can't quite work out how to do that in the software, and it's all encased in a CNC machine aluminium case. In the bottom are two removable feet, with two extras coming in the box to raise it up, and one long rubber foot at the front. Then at the back is the USB-C port. The case is 2 cm at the thinnest, up to 3 cm at the back, and the keys sit 3 to 4 cm from the desk using the larger upright feet. Now, being a 65% keyboard, it's a smaller one at around 32 cm by 11 cm, and there's no function keys along the top, and it's a standard layout here for the UK version. You also get a 1.58mm thick, good quality USB cable to plug into your PC. There's so much to love about this build. It's sturdy, minimal, and the RGB is nice and bright. The keycaps are of good quality, although some of the shine through isn't 100% shine through, as you can see here, but it's just a small point. So the first thing you'll notice when you take it out of the box is its weight. It weighs over a kilogram at 1060 grams. It's sturdy, solid, and it feels like it's built to last. It's fantastic. So let's do the obligatory sound test then before I talk more about performance, and let me know if you would modify these. So firstly, here's the mouse clicks. And now here's the keyboard. Out of the box, I'd say it probably needs a little bit more dampening with things like extra lube, as it already has some from factory new, but this is really your choice. So once ready, you may want to change the way the keyboard functions, and you can do this using the software. But you can also do this via certain key presses, but if I'm honest, I've never do that as a software is so easy to do, so just go to the website and download it. Once open, you'll probably need to update the firmware on both the mouse and the keyboard, so go ahead and do that, it doesn't take long. Then next up, you get into the meat of the software. Set your profile, which is stored on the keyboard itself, and you can have a few ready to go at just a couple of clicks. I had one for gaming and one for business typing, and I'll explain why in a bit. So then you can also change the macros, the RGB, but one thing I want to show you is the response trigger. Basically, the keyboard knows how far you have pressed the keyboard and can react to that. You can set the amount of down treble it takes for it to register, then when it clears that and starts looking for your next input. I hope I've explained that well enough, but here's a demo. I've set it to register my click as soon as I touch the key. So my setup is my iPhone recording at 120 FPS. I film the keyboard and the monitor at the same time, and also my monitor is set to 120 FPS, so all nice and synced. Now once I've filmed it, I put it into my editing software, and a bit of quick maths at 120 FPS, we can see that each frame is 0.008 seconds. Then when I press the X key, it takes a further 16 frames to show on the monitor, meaning it's taken about 0.12 seconds to register that key click. Now does this help? Well, I'm genuinely a better player when using this keyboard. Yes, you need to tweak it for your best settings, but having the lift off to be instant, as it means you can roll over to the next key press with no lag. I played a bunch of COD, Fortnite, Overwatch and more, and it felt responsive, fluid, and it really did feel like I was in control way more than I have before. The mouse also helps with this too. I found it comfortable with my claw grip, even with the stock skates. Everything related how I wanted to, and although I haven't changed the clicks as yet, I'm pretty happy with how they feel. Again, responsive and free. I will at some point make a more detailed review of the mouse independently, but as for now, these two are hitting the sweet spot. Finally, as I alluded to earlier, this keyboard, although not intentional, is great for productivity, simply because for me, it works in that I can set the trigger time to be very low and have the release time to be around 50%, meaning I have to reach the bottom of the key to have registered typing, and I rarely miss a key now, and if I accidentally slip onto the adjacent key, it doesn't register. Seriously, I love typing on this thing. So overall then, this keyboard feels great, it looks good, it's built like a tank, and it has decent enough software. I'd highly recommend this keyboard, but it's up to you whether you think this design, pretty plain design, and all of the functions is enough to pull you away from your current driver. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of this, and please do check the description where you can go and buy this. Anything else, let me know. Till the next video. Bye bye.